Hey, what's up? What's going on, Virgo? Welcome. Welcome in. We're going to do a quick reading on Between the Eclipses energy, but before we get into your reading, Virgo, I just want to say I'll put it to you this way. This is for the truth-telling, honest Virgos, this reading. If you're anything but that, this reading is almost definitely not for you. Clear? All right. With that, you may recognize me from previous channels. I've had several channels before. I'm not going to get into those stories right now. I just got a low battery warning, so I also don't want to ramble too much in your reading. Basically, I'm going to do a check-in on the energy for Between the Eclipses. So we're using the before tarot, the after tarot, and it is an eclipse in your sign, and you are an earth sign. So we're using Dirt Gems, which is basically a plant oracle. A plant guide oracle. So this eclipse that's happening, we just had the eclipse in Pisces. Hopefully you did the release for that. Some of that energy may come up, but this one is in your sign. This is a partial solar eclipse in Virgo, and it's about releasing something, to let something come in. It's at 29 degrees, so it's a critical degree in astrology. It's a big deal, Virgo. So we're gonna jump in and just see what the cards have to say. I don't want to get too much into anything else but what comes out in these cards, and see what's there. All right. What do you have for my high vibes and Virgos, please? We have a Nine of Wands. We have a Five of Pentacles. And we have a King of Pentacles. On the bottom of the deck, we have the Queen of Pentacles. We have Judgment. And we have the Ten of Cups. And we have the Four of Wands. All right. I like this, Virgo. I like this a lot. So, you've been struggling with some inner demons here. I always see the Nine of Pentacles in this card. Nine of Pentacles. Nine of Wands in this deck. Nine of Pentacles in this card. Wow. All right. Mercury issues. The Nine of Wands in this deck is us battling with, inner struggles, right? Like this beast is kind of behind our walls. And then what's interesting is you also have the Five of Pentacles, which is, again, we have another animal spirit here outside the walls, like being left out. There's something that you're struggling with internally in regards to being left out of something that really affects your life, something that really affects your safety, your security, your well-being. Your needs, something that really affected your needs, like being whatever you were left out of caused you to suffer based on things you need, not things you were wanting but things that you needed, right? King of Pentacles. Feels like you were left out of some sort of business opportunity. By some sort of authority figure here. Who, what, when, where, I don't know. This could be in personal or business life, right? So we deal with authority figures in both. was a decision made that whoever this authority figure was, they made a decision. This is before eclipse, right? A decision that affected your family in regards to your resources. That's what I'm getting. Needs. In regards to your needs and your ability to care for probably your family, my guess. All right, let's see. Let's see what happens after. Oh, I like that. 2 of Cups. Some sort of loving embrace. Feeling protected. You have the High Priestess. And the 10 of Cups. Whatever you were left out of, I would say, I'm not going to say be glad, but I think you're going to see why that was. It wasn't for you. It wasn't for you. It was something that you needed, but for whatever reason, well, you're getting repaid. You're getting repaid. But you have to do the release. Don't forget, you have to do the release. Okay? All right. On the bottom of the deck, we have the Emperor, the Tower, and the Queen of Cups with strength. So there's, yeah. The Tower is underlying this outcome of your happiness afterwards. 2-2-10. All right. So there's a release. There's a release that brings all this in. So it looks good to me. It looks like you're doing the work. That's all I can say. This is family coming together. This is being embraced. Let's see what we get from this Dirt Gem Oracle for you. Aconite, strong Aries energy. Somebody else got that. Who got that? Gemini, Taurus? I'm not sure. Wild yams. This is about sewing things together. The whole, Virgo, you have 111. Card number 1, card number 11, and then we have Skull Cap. This is like a sleepy energy, I think, if I'm not mistaken. I'm gonna see. We have Sage on the bottom, Clary Sage. So you might want to burn some sage for protection. You might find that useful. Let's see. I'm just gonna go over these. Okay. Yeah, the Aconite, Queen of Poisons and Mirrors. Virgo. All right. I know I said this is for high vibing Virgos, and I'm going to keep it that way, but I am going to say this. Watch out for the mirroring. Whichever side of that you're on. Okay? Because reflections can be deceiving. And I'll just leave that there. But I do want to read the actual message a little bit, okay? Aconite is an edge walker known as the queen of poisons. It is a plant that is to be taken seriously, dangerously, and reverently. It is an ally and friend not to be trifled with. Poison plants show us the edges of what is possible, guarding the gates that are not meant to be passed until the time is right. Poison plants demand attention and respect. So, somebody might have felt like you didn't respect them, or you might have felt like somebody didn't respect you. Clearly, there was disrespect in this situation, whatever, for all of this left out of whatever it was that you needed. 100%, no doubt. Let's see what wild yam is again. Oh yeah, that is so wild too. You got the first card and the last card. If that ain't eclipse energy, I don't know what is. It's the opening of the chapter and the closing of the chapter. So wild yam. Crazy. There we go. There it is too. Silk of the web. Wild yam weaves and vines their heart-shaped leafy magic through clearings in the forest. It's a potent messenger of balance both in the human body and in the ecosystems in which we live. It's an ancient ally. It teaches our endocrine system to find balance while allowing elegant and effective communication between the biological channels our bodies use. Wild yam is a harmonizer working to preserve and maintain the beautiful web of natural order. Wild yam brings the news that every piece of the puzzle is important and every missing link affects all other things. It's currently considered to be at risk in the U.S. If you find the need for equilibrium within your own body and within the greater network of ecological literacy, invite wild yam to your table or find your way to a clearing in their forest. Our net of life will not hold strong without heeding this call. All right, so you may have wild yam or be using wild yam as an ally or wild yam as an ally, but the point of that is to say that there are people out there that need your help, Virgo. And in Virgo, you're the healer, right? Like you're this earth sign that is very grounded in plant energy and plant healing. And I mean, you know, that's probably not going to resonate with every single Virgo out there, because I could say that and then you could be like, have stronger air placements in your chart. But Virgo itself is about plants, medicines, healing. It's Venus energy. It's sixth house energy, which is like your day-to-day, everyday, in and out, service to others, things like that. I feel like this is definitely been a wild ride for you as of late. I don't know why I keep putting the book down. Skullcap number 25. I feel like I don't even know if I want to post this one. I feel like I need to do another one, but I feel like it's right. I just feel like I'm... There's something. Skullcap, the swarm wrangler. Skullcap speaks to the beehive. Skullcap knows the honeybee dance in the language of nectar. Skullcap can hear the soft whispers and the roaring hum of the comb protectors. Skullcap knows how to sing this honeyed language into your ear. Skullcap is a translator between human and non-human, between fire and water, between animate and inanimate. Skullcap is the fragrance you cannot detect, but that drives you forward in the quietest parts of yourself. This is about relaxing. You know, it reminds me of a nightcap. Find the quiet and quench the thirst of what we yearn to do. Don't be fooled by the delicate nature of the plants. Oh, well, wait, hold on. With it coursing through the net of our nerves, we can settle into our own bodies and minds, restore our energy. You know, this is about rest and relaxation, which is kind of what's happening here in this Ten of Cups and the after. It's like sitting around the campfire and telling stories about, oh, you're never going to believe what happened to me over the last 6 months, right? Like, you have a story to tell. And I think that you are out there telling this story, but I'm not sure you are. There's, you know, the high vibing Virgos definitely are not out there projecting, but, you know, we have you have to take every sign, Cancer, Leo, Virgo, every sign. Not every Virgo you meet is going to be in their highest vibration, and not every, just because you meet one that's in a low vibration means that every Virgo is going to be in a low vibration. So, the same could be said for other signs, meaning other signs you're dealing with, Virgo. And I think that sometimes we can be influenced in a way to do things to our detriment, fighting the beast back within. If you fight it back, who's going to know you're standing outside that door? Here's the thing. There's a lot of revealing that's coming. There's a lot of things coming to the surface. There's a lot of things going on. But you can't let fear drive you, I think is what I want to say out of this. And I see clearly the wrongful decisions that were made by an authority figure here in your past. That is clear as day. There were wrong decisions. You were wronged. Now, I don't know if you're able to prove this in some way, or, you know, you can't just go back to court and say, that tarot reader I watched over here said I was wronged. No. And I don't know that you'll ever get, you know, justice in the 3D or the 5D or whatever for that. But the Most High God is always watching. And if you're doing the right thing and you're not blocking other people's paths, things like that, you know, you're letting go of any type of whatever it is that you need to let go of, right? The eclipse is happening in your sign, so it's something very personal to you. My guess is something, well, I don't, it's no reason for me to make a guess. You are the decider of that. But on the other side of that, on the other side of that tower, on the other side of this release, the Most High God has seen and is filling your cups. Let there be no doubt about that. Okay? I'm just going to move on. Sometimes I say a whole lot of nothing by rambling too much because I don't want to let the cat out of the bag just yet for you, so to speak. All right, future happenings. Enthusiasm for your professional endeavors surge. So you're going to be more happy doing your job. Your accomplishments impact everyone around you. Not surprised, especially with this, eclipse being in your sign. Your professional relationships gain strength. I see that happening all over the place here. You rendezvous with your dear ones. The quality of life experience. The quality of life experience enhancement. Okay, so your quality of life is going to be enhanced. You immerse yourself in creative pursuits. The heightened impact generates a more optimistic mindset. So you're going to have some kind of impact you're going to see an impact that you have had on someone else or another situation or, whatever. And nothing else has to be said. It's going to give you this mindset of like, wow. Like if I could have that impact on another person's life or on another situation that wasn't going so great, you're having some sort of positive impact, obviously, for it to bring you out. You're going to look at something, you're going to be like, wow, I freaking did that, man. Bravo. And then there's a little quote here at the bottom. It says, to improve is to change. To be perfect is to change often. All right. And that's the truth. Keep an open mind, Virgo. Love you. Good luck. Peace.